Hi guys, and welcome back to SwitchUp. Can we all take a minute to salute the amazing development team behind the Hollow Knight series? They have released the Silksong trailer, and not being one to be outdone by their own amazing efforts with DLC, they decided that rather than make a full DLC with this one, they'd just, go the extra 150 characters and make a full game, and I love them for it. Not only that, but anyone that backed the original Hollow Knight is going to get a free copy of this and any copies they would have got of that game. So if they got one of the tiers for 5 or 6 or even 7 copies of Hollow Knight, they're going to get 7 copies of Silksong to give to family and friends. What developer does that? It's incredible. The same developer that said to everyone, do you know what, if you want to make merchandise out of our game, as long as it's not too serious and mass produced, just go ahead and do it. That is unfreaking believable, and it's why I'm going to be throwing my cash at Silksong when it arrives to buy extra copies to ship to some of you guys. Man, sorry I went on a rant there. So without further ado, let's get into everything that we know about Hollow Knight Silksong. As I mentioned there, this was a game that was originally going to be a DLC, and they've been working on Hornet's story since February of 2017, and even by their own accounts, it is gigantic already. But unlike Hollow Knight, which was all about delving into the depths to explore those areas, this is about ascension. It's a game about climbing to the very peak of this world, and every area you're going to visit is going to be entirely new. If you want any more information, then you can just go straight to the Hollow Knight blog. The link will be down in the description, and that's where most of this information is taken from, as well as a video that those guys put out a couple of days ago. Hollow Knight Silksong is going to be available at launch on Windows, Mac, Linux, and Nintendo Switch. And it is the first time that they've actually launched on a console, which is amazing. And it's amazing, to be fair, for us guys, that it's on the Switch. The reason they've done this is because they received such an impressive reaction to Hollow Knight on the Nintendo Switch when it launched, and it has easily stayed in the top 20 since that time. You play as Hornet, Princess Protector of Hallownest, and the adventure is going to take place through that new kingdom haunted by Silk and Song, and they made a large emphasis of Silk and Song being very key components of the game. And the composer, Christopher Larkin, has done an excellent job by all accounts, creating a soundtrack that will completely tie this experience together. As you battle for ascension to get to Kingdom's Peak. Just some of the lands they've spoken about include the coral forests, mossy grottos, gilded cities, and misted moors as you ascend to the shining citadel at the top of the world. While they didn't speak a great deal about the combat, it does say on the blog that you're going to engage in lethal acrobatic action, and they mentioned that the overall combat mechanics are much swifter. You can see from this brief snippet of trailer how you can maintain attacks to keep you in the air, and it looks delightful. The next aspect is the crafting. This was something that was spoken about as well. It looks like you can craft special tools, and these are going to be done directly through the main character, whether it be weapons, traps, mechanisms, or an array of other items. I love that they've put an emphasis on crafting, which is quite a popular thing in games at the moment, so it's nice to see that in a game that we all know is going to be amazing. A quest log. Now, I've put this as its own category because this really is a big deal. They've created an entire side quest log system so that you can track exactly what you're doing at any one moment. In past games, you obviously had certain things that you did, but it wasn't quite as concise or buttoned down as this. So for me personally, I love that they've included this, and you will be carrying out, by all accounts, a range of different quests throughout this experience. From searching for lost treasure to fulfilling the wishes of the downtrodden and restoring the kingdom's hope. But the line that really gets me on the blog is to prepare for the unexpected. And we knew that anyway, but I'm just so excited to see what these guys are going to come up with. Next up is the number of enemies you're going to be facing, and on their video they were really having a good laugh about how every game they release has to have more enemies, but that they have so many ideas and that creating the 150 enemies was actually easy. That is just, these guys are amazing. So these are going to include all new foes, beasts, hunters, assassins, kings, monsters and knights, and I cannot wait to die to them over and over again. Now, I touched briefly on the musical score, and that's the next bullet point on their list. You're going to experience the stunning orchestral score from Christopher Larkin, who's already shown a part of the new theme of this game, and it's sounding great already. The last thing we know for sure is that they're including a new challenge mode, very similar to one that they had in the last game, but this time it's called Silksong mode. Once you conquer the game, you get to test your skills in an all-new mode that spins the game into a unique and challenging experience. And they spoke quite a bit about how in the last game they created a unique twist on permadeath, and it sounds like they're going to follow something similar this time, but as they always tend to do, there's a few surprises in the way that that's going to be delivered to the player. So unfortunately they haven't given us a release date yet, but I'm sure we'll be hearing about that in the next few months, and you can be sure that as soon as that's up, we'll be providing you as much information as you need. Thanks so much to our Patreons as always. Let us know down in the comments what you're most excited about with this one, and as always, for all things Switch all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys, see ya!
door.